What's going on, foodie fam? I am back. So we are going to do a chicken fried steak today. If you've never made chicken fried steak, there's multiple ways you can make it. You can use panko breadcrumb. You can use flour. We're gonna actually use flour today instead of panko, but I'm gonna add a little bit of a twist to it, okay? So let's go. All right, so we're gonna do this chicken fried steak, and I love this one. This is actually gonna be the country gravy version. And basically, I'm going to be using bacon with this. So first thing I want to do is season my meat. And I'm actually using a sirloin, a beef sirloin, but I'm a Wagyu beef sirloin. So you can actually go to the butcher if you're going to any grocery store that has a good butcher. They can actually tenderize this for you. So you don't have to do it yourself. But if you do it yourself, you can put it in a plastic bag. You can use cube steak, any kind of steak you'd like. You can put it in a plastic bag and then get a mallet and just start going ham at it. So you want to make sure that you're using actually the rough side of the mallet so you can actually tenderize it properly. But the best way to do it is just to get your butcher to do it. It's easy to get it done. And like I said, you can use cube steak or you can use what I'm using, a beef sirloin. So as you can see, I seasoned it and I am adding some cornstarch to this. So the reason why I'm adding cornstarch right quick onto the steak directly is just so I can actually skip a step. So normally you would have three different containers. I'm just going ahead and I'm breaking it into two. So I've added the egg, I've added some milk, and I've added some Tabasco. I'm going to whisk this up a little bit, kind of get it all mixed in and nice and ready to go. But with the cornstarch, I'm gonna powder the whole steak with the cornstarch and make sure all the flour is on every part of this. So I want to make sure this is very thoroughly done, and I'm going to make sure that every inch of this has cornstarch on it. So once I got it thoroughly mixed in, and I know the cornstarch is good, then I'm going to put it right into the egg wash. We're going to let this sit in there for a second. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the same container, put some more cornstarch, but I'm also going to do half cornstarch, half all-purpose flour. And then I'm going to add some seasoning, the same seasoning I just got finished using. Using onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika in here. So I'm going to add enough in there. Now I also got some smoked paprika I'm going to add in there. And this is the same season I used at the beginning. So we're going to put some salt in there and make sure there's some onion powder. And make sure it's well seasoned. So now I've already battered it. Now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and then let it sit in the refrigerator. Now, the reason why we're putting it in this refrigerator is so the breading doesn't fall. And we're going to put it in the refrigerator for probably about a good 20, 30 minutes. And once we got it for 20, 30 minutes, this was a little bigger, so I cut it in half a little bit, and then I'm going to put it in here and let it cook. Now, this same process can be used when you're using fried chicken and other different types of meat that you're doing a three-part breading. And here you go. Now look at that. Nice, crispy. Flipped it over a little bit. All right. So I got a wire rack right in front of me, so I'm going to put it right on the wire rack. Not in the same rack, but I'm going to put it on another wire rack. And I'm going to go ahead and finish cooking all of it. Now, once I cooked all of it, I'm going to put this in the oven at about 150, 200 degrees. And the reason why I want to do that is because I just want to keep it warm. So I'm going to keep it warm. So now let's go ahead and get started with the bacon gravy. We got bacon, onions, and I'm going to add a little flour into this. Now I'm making a roux. This roux is really going to be a light roux. If I go any longer with the roux, it'll darken up and it'll be a darker roux. So I want to keep it a light roux. Now I'm going to add some milk, some whole milk, and I'm going to stir this. Now I'm just trying to reduce it down and make sure that I got it to the right thickness that I'm looking for. And what I also like to add is a little bit of more flavor to it. So I've added a little bit of chicken stock into my gravy. That chicken stock is going to give it a little bit more flavor, actually add some salt into it. So this is going to be really, really good. Now look how great that looks. Nice and creamy. Perfect. Add a little bit more milk just to kind of loosen up a little bit more. You don't want it too thick, because it's going to thick up in anyway once it sits down a little bit. So, but I just want it nice and loose. Now I'm going to add some cracked pepper and a little bit more seasoning to this. Now, you don't see this, but I am tasting this all the time. I'm tasting my roux, making sure that the flavors are right, and I'm adding garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of paprika also. So now here's my parsley. I'm going to mix this in. And I want to cook the parsley probably for about a good minute or so. I don't want to cook it too long because I don't want it to lose the green color. Now we're going to go ahead and start plating this. So I got some mashed potatoes, perfectly cooked. I like a rough mashed potatoes, not too smooth, but I like an actual where it's a little chunky. Now you can make it smooth if you like. I'm gonna put 2 little pieces on here, and these weren't little; these were huge. But I'm gonna put them on here, and bam, the country gravy. Add some parsley. So y'all let me know what you think. Go ahead and try the recipe out and give me a shout out, and let's see.